Hare Krishna, everyone. This is acyuta-bhava from Nightlight Astrology, and today is Bhakti Wednesday. And so we are going to continue with the last couple of verses of the Nectar of Instruction. We've been reading out of this classic Bhakti philosophy text for some weeks in a row. And I'm really excited to be kind of getting into the last verses, some of which are very special. And also, it's been great to hear all of your feedback about this as we've gone along. Today, we are going to talk in this verse a little bit about where God likes to hang out. And that's the way I'm summarizing this because some of the language might be a little specialized. This verse, a couple of the last verses, while really beautiful, are sort of technical and may not be as accessible to people. So I'm going to try to make it as accessible as I can. But this is text 9 of the Nectar of Instruction, the Sri Upadeshamrita. The holy place known as Mathura is spiritually superior to Vaikuntha, the transcendental world, because the Lord appeared there. Superior to Mathura Puri is the transcendental forest of Vrindavan because of Krishna's Rasa Leela pastimes. And superior to the forest of Vrindavan is Govardhan Hill, for it was raised by the divine hand of Sri Krishna and was the site of his various loving pastimes. And above all, the super excellent Sri Radhakund stands supreme, for it is overflooded with the ambrosial nectarian prema of the Lord of Gokula, Sri Krishna. Where then is that intelligent person who is unwilling to serve this divine Radhakund, which is situated at the foot of Govardhan Hill? So a lot of those places may be somewhat unknown to you. And I'm not going to give like a history lesson on all of them, not even someone who's super deeply knowledgeable about all of the places. I feel like a neophyte in that regard. But what's being said in this verse that I think is worth mentioning today is that there's a hierarchy in a sense of Krishna's favorite places to hang out. You have Vaikuntha, the spiritual world, which is a place that's often described as a place of like awe and reverence. It's like a transcendental kingdom where the energy of God is there, and there's a sense of all the souls gathered there, just having such loving, adoring reverence and awe of God. But this isn't God's favorite place to hang out necessarily. And remember, when we say this isn't God's favorite place to hang out, we're not saying that God doesn't like it either. We're saying that there's places that are dearer and more intimate. It's almost like you're going into deeper and deeper chambers in the heart of God and communion with God. Then there's the Vrindavan forests. This is a place where there's lots of playfulness and romance happening, and it's very personal. And then we go from there to Govardhan Hill, which is a place that Krishna raised up in order to protect like a country community of people. So it gets even more sweet and intimate and common. And then it gets all the way to Radhakund. And Radhakund is, it's a place that is connected to Krishna's lover, Radha. And so this place of all places, this place that the energy of Sri Radha resides, that this place is most dear. So you're going from places, this kind of the picture of heaven, filled with awe and reverence, to more and more intimate spheres until finally you get to this deeply personal, private sphere between God and God's lover. And all of us are in relationship with Radha in that sense, where each soul, in a sense, is also seeking out that intimacy, that deep personal intimacy with the divine, with God. So I love this verse because the way that I would boil it down, even though there's some very esoteric things that are being said as well, is that where does God like to hang out the most? In deeply personal and intimate places, not in places that are grandiose and big and filled with awe and reverence, as much as, although those are beautiful too, as much as, rather than a soccer stadium filled with the most glorious hymns you've ever heard, which could be very beautiful. I mean, I'm very enticed by that if I imagine something like that. But actually, it would be more like, God sitting at the side of a creek with just God and his beloved, So this intimacy is what we seek, this commonness, this simpleness. Many times throughout the Shastras, there are examples of devotees who have the momentary glimpse of God in God's huge form. And there's this repeated feeling of being like, oh, no, that's too much. Please come back to the place where I almost forget that you're God, because it's so intimate and personal. I can't, it's like remembering that God is God, in a sense, could overwhelm us. And so there's this potency, yoga maya, that has the ability to allow us to engage with God while not getting distracted or caught up with the bigness or vastness, the overwhelmingness, which could actually be sort of terrifying. So part of what bhakti seeks is not so much the sense of this massive God, but the sense of God as like a friend you meet at the river in the woods, a lover that you meet at the river in the woods, that kind of thing. So we may not be so advanced, to call ourselves lovers of God, but we seek that love, and so we seek it at Radha-kund in this verse, which is kind of like the romantic meetup spot, you could say, for Krishna and Radha. So I think that's a beautiful verse. I hope you enjoy it and get something good out of it. If you ever have any questions as we go along, send your questions to info@nightlightastrology.com. Put Bhakti Q&A in the subject line if there's any topic you'd like to hear we talk about on these Bhakti Wednesday videos. Until next time, Hare Krishna.